What is up, guys? Trevor here in Mobile, Alabama at Gamers and Geeks. We just finished our Friday night locals, and I'm here with Markus, who split a winner box with a GnG player. Markus is playing Stopping Power Son Goku, and I will let him get into the list.
Alright, so we played Stopping Power Son Goku today. We'll start with our 1-drops in black. We have 2 Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan, 2 in the main deck, 2 in the side deck. It's mainly here just for the Child's Wish decks, and our deck has a weakness to Zeno, and so if there's a Zeno deck, it's good against that too, but specifically for the Child's Wish decks. Then we have 4 Announcer Ever Curious. It's our top 7 tutor, finds usually a super combo, or it finds us our other black 1-drop, and that's Announcer Play-by-Play Pro. Usually you're using this card to draw 2 cards. It's one of the only card advantage engines in the deck, aside from discarding your opponent's cards, which is technically card advantage. And then we have 3 Crisis Crusher. Our deck's really frail to Storm, so we need some way to combat it. And this could have been a 4 of, and I kind of would have liked it as a 4 of, but it was fine at 3. And our last black card in the main deck is Dark Temptation Toa. This card's insane. I mean, making our leader 25,000 when it attacks, because our leader gains 5,000 when it attacks, is without having to combo anything. This deck cleans up the board very well, and the incidental discard matters a lot. Moving on to the green cards, we have 2 Newfound Power Son Gohan. I mean, it was good all day. It was like I didn't have too many self-awakening effects. There's times when I would have rather had 4 of these and 2 Yamcha rather than 2 of these and 4 Yamcha. But I wanted to see Yamcha more often as a way to have critical without taking any life in longer games, because that's the ones I'm trying to win. And I didn't want this kind of effect against the aggressive decks anyways, so it was just a 2 of. And we have 4 Trading Blows Son Goku. Basically, the whole reason to play a World Martial Arts Tournament deck. It gives you the ability to like chip in incidentally, and then when they try to combo in to combat you and deal damage to your life or your battle cards, being able to combo with it, it nets usually 10,000 power worth in combo between the card they discard and comboing with it. And it's a World Martial Arts Tournament card to have in play for Play-by-Play Pro. Then we have 4 Shocking Death Ball, probably the best addition to this deck with the release of Set 5. It only requires a green leader, not an android leader, and being able to kill Bardoks, Gotenks, Sorbets, I mean all kinds of stuff this thing kills. It just feels really good, and the Sparking 5 is relevant some of the time. Then we got our Super Combo. Just standard green if your life is at 5 or less. If you're World Martial Arts Tournament leader, you draw and gain 10k. We're going to move into some of the more expensive cards in the deck. We have 4 Hun Move Yamcha. 4 might have been overkill. I charged it a lot of the time, but it was also just fantastic every time I did play it to gain its effect. Maybe, like I said before, a 4-2 split with 4 of the 1-drop Gohan is better, but I feel like the longevity of just a flat 15k critical attacker was more relevant. And we have 4 Tien Shinhan Trading Moves. It's the core combo of the deck, and it's the reason why you play Stopping Power for this particular strategy, because it lets you play these cards together. He says when once per turn, you can KO a Mercenary Tau you control to restand him and give him 5,000 double strike. And Tau says when you play him, if you control him, you can your opponent discards 3 cards. So you're just doing a lot of incidental damage with your other card effects throughout the game, and then you resolve a Tau or 2, and it's impossible for your opponent to recover in most situations. And they finish out the game really well because it's a single strike, double strike combo. We have 2 Infernal Villainy Cell. Just wanted a little bit more 10k cost combos in the main deck, and a way to protect myself without losing card advantage. It wasn't like super relevant. I charged it some of the time in certain matchups, and it could just very well be like 2 Gohans or topping off certain other cards in the matchup, but it was fine. This is another really good addition with the release of Step 5, Super 17, the Infernal Machine. This card doesn't care what your leader is, it's just double strike, and its attacks can't be negated, so it's a very good finisher. Usually when you're playing this, it's after you've resolved a Tau or 2. If you can resolve a Tau and your opponent's down to 0 cards, if they charge and then like attack with their leader, they might have 1. It allows you to hit them for 1 damage with any attacker that doesn't have critical, and then you play this card, discarding 2, usually your worst 2 cards, to put them back down to 0. And because it's a double striker that can't be negated, at this stage of the game, you usually double strike them with a Tau or something to put them to 2, and then they can't negate this, and you all in and kill them 99% of the time. And our last card in the main deck is Hidden Power E Supreme Kai. Just a way to finish out the game against aggressive decks that don't respect this card. You can find it off of Announcer Ever Curious, and it's another 10k combo. But you know, double strike is a good thing, and our deck is not lacking in that. We'll move on to the sideboard. We have one Scientist Fu. You just bring it against the other control decks or the Zeno decks as a way to refill your hand. We have 3 Dende, new to the job. In case we played against any objection decks, we wanted access to this card. 2 Masayan, the Mysterious Warrior, mainly for Storm, but other War Martial Arts Tournament decks it's very good against too. 3 Kami, Global Unifier. This card was mainly for Storm, but it was good against GnG Veggies, or Shenron Veggies as well. It wasn't like the most relevant card, but I'm glad I had it in the sideboard. We have the other 2 Dark Power Black Masayan, very, very good. Brought it in a couple of matchups. Super relevant all day. I'm glad I had it. 3 Har Attacker Majin. Brought it in against the green or yellow decks. It's very, very good in conjunction with the last card in our sideboard, and that's Beyond Darkness Demigod. Against the slower green and yellow decks, we side in these 4 and either Black Masayan or Kami, depending on the matchup, and we take out the Toas, and then we just play a long, grindy control game, and after we've whittled down their hand and get them to a position where we can win the game, we drop Demigod to win. Because our main deck already main decks 14 black cards, and that number stays right around 14 to 16 at post board. So yeah, that was the deck. Lost 1 match in Swiss to Janemba, and that's the player I split top 2 with for the Bucks.
Alrighty, very interesting deck and a very interesting leader. I love that leader a lot. If you guys have any questions about the deck or for Marcus in general, please comment down below. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.